TheOne Chab is one of my favorite clones ever, and in general one of my favorite balisongs. This was like my first real good balisong. Before this I had stuff like Burger Plus, and before that I just had this BM42 clone, stainless steel clone, which was from eBay, and it maybe was even channel design, I'm not sure, so it wasn't sandwich, so it was like not the worst of the worst. Too bad I don't have balisong anymore, but this one was like my first real good balisong. So this is like, in that sense, quite important balisong to me. When I got it, it didn't look like this. Now it has this toxic anno. I can show you video right now on the screen when I did it. I did it myself. It was a fun process, but I wasn't so good on it. My torch wasn't that good, and also the heat was not going evenly on this handle, so I had to redo it a few times on the other handle. But one thing I also did, I changed the blade to a alt blade. I think the alt blade profile on this one looks so good. Also it flips really good. I mean, it's quite similar to a normal blade, whatever it is, Bowie I think, but this alt blade is sick. So before I toxic anode this, it was actually really beat up because I used it as my only balisong for a long while. It's nice to see that it is now like reborn, you could say. I actually changed the washers to True Link ones. For a while it had these stainless steel washers from Machine Wise, but now I have some phosphor bronze washers on it. I prefer phosphor bronze washers on my builds. But yeah, this knife is awesome. It's more on the heavier side, I would say. I mean, it's the old default standard weight, I would say 5 ounces. But in modern standards, balisongs have gotten lighter and lighter. So this is more in the heavier end, I would say, in these days standards. But that isn't definitely a bad thing. I think heavier balisongs have this flow that lighter balisongs have hard time trying to replicate. I mean, in for example Orion 1.5, the balance is good and the flow is good because there is optimal amount of end weight, in my opinion, with the stock setup, at least for my style. You have to remember all my opinions about these knives are my own subjective views about this stuff, so yeah. The balance is like one of the best that I have in any of my knives. It's like ridiculously good on this one. When this came out, there wasn't any like really good clones around back then. This was one of the first like real good clones. I think these days TheOne is quite washed up with their products. There's like Arm Shark and Bali Plus that were around this time also when this came out. Arm Shark is a little bit more new, but I think they cooked with this balisong. I know they have also the V2 one, but I like this V1 more. I haven't flipped the V2. It might be also very good, but just because of the design I like this one, more like minimalistic texturing and stuff like that. I think This balisong had this like stone washing finish, you could say, on the handles. Now it has more of this glossy, like polished thing going on. I feel like I prefer grip and feel like this, but it was also good when it was stone washed. No problems with that. But the balance is like really good. It's like really neutral. Definitely not handle bias, definitely not blade bias. This is like the most neutral knife I have. It's so nice. So nice. Definitely S tier beater knife, I would say. This thing is very sharp right now. Because this blade is new, but yeah. This might be my favorite balisong there is, because I have flipped it so long, I like it so much. It has nice flow to it, nice momentum. It's not too heavy. For someone it might be if you're used to some lighter ones, more modern balisongs, but for me this is like, I feel like, to be fair, I feel like 5-ounce balisongs are a little bit more satisfying to flip for some reason. The momentum just like feels satisfying for some reason. I don't know, I can't explain it well, but you know, it's just fun to flip. But I probably prefer this alt blade. The Bowie blade also was sick, but I think this is so clean, this blade profile. So nice. Like, it looks a little bit like replicant alt blade, but not completely like that, but very nice. I guess if I had to say something bad about this knife, I guess it's lack of chin ping, you know, but that's not problem for me, but it might be for someone. You can still, you know, ladder it. I'm not good at ladders, but I can still do it on this one. But yeah, I have dropped this thing so many times. It had this little refresh when I polished it and did this anodization to it, but definitely I would recommend this as a beater, or even as a knife in general. Even as a EDC, you know, it has latch when it came. This would be really banger EDC. Maybe oil the blade up so it doesn't rust and stuff like that. You could use this as a really good, like, just as a knife, you know. I'm always surprised how well this thing flips when I tried it after a while. Like, it's so like easy and responsive and, you know, but definitely not the lightest one. So if you like light balisongs, this is not for you. I think for this like flow style flipping, this is very nice knife. If you want to know what this hardware is on this one, I really have no idea. I ordered them like 5 or even more years ago from eBay, so I have no idea, but this hardware makes it a lot better, because I think is it T8 screws or something stock, or even smaller than that, I'm not sure. So the normal hardware really sucks. Maybe even T6, I'm not sure, but I have this hexagon pattern screws on it. And it works really well on this one. So if you can find that kind of stuff somewhere, maybe get that one. I know that Slash to Gas sells some TheOne Chab upgraded screws. That's something I can't get because I don't live in America, but maybe that's something you could be interested if you live in America. I have so fun time flipping this knife. Like, so nice. Also the sound is so good on this one. I got this Nabalis cheese balisong a while ago, so I'm using the Nabalis thick oil on this one. I feel like it's quite good product, but still have to do some more testing about that. But definitely first impressions about that oil is real good. I think it's a little bit less thick than the carbon honey. Sometimes carbon honey is too thick, so on the builds that have too good tolerances. This one has good tune, but not the most tight tune, so this works well with either one, but I guess that's all I wanted to say about this TheOne Chab knife. Fucking love this thing, so good. See you on the next video. Peace.